So Dr. Ryohei Maki is the founder and CEO of our Machine Learning Week sponsor, Data. He, in previous work at NEC Corporation, was the youngest research fellow there in its 119-year history. He has a PhD from University of Tokyo in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And he's speaking today on From BI to BI+AI, adding predictive analytics to your BI stack in days, not months. Take it away, Ryohei.
Thank you, Eric. Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Ryohei, founder and CEO at Data. So in this presentation, because this is a digital show, and this is the first time for us to attend a digital show, so we want to make this presentation a little bit interactive with each other. So we prepared a polls on Slido. So we posted our Slido link on the chat window. So we appreciate if you join the Slido polls. And we have a couple of polls prepared during my presentation. So let me start my presentation window. So first, let me start from polls to ask a little bit about what are your challenges during this economic downturn in AI ML project. Obviously, after this COVID-19, we have seen a lot of challenges in our customers, like a project is slowing down, or budget issues, or a staffing issue, or some customers are struggling to access important resources like data or platform and so on and so forth. So here for the first question, I want to ask you, what are your challenges during this economic downturn in terms of AI machine learning? Yeah, let me wait for a moment until we see the. Okay, there is still some moving, so let me wait for 10, 15 more seconds. Okay, so let me stop the first question here. But yeah, this is very consistent with what we have been seeing in the customer. Like a lot of people are seeing the slowdown in the AI machine learning project, and also some of our clients have some budget issue during this economic difficult situations. And let me ask you one more questions. Let me go to the next polls. All right, so a lot of you have the challenges to in terms of the speed of machine learning AI project, and what are your approach to keep the momentum of AI machine learning project? Like introduce tool to improve productivity, or focus on critical use cases and kind of reduce exploration activities, or leverage non-data scientists or enable more people to use AI machine learning, or currently you are just the beginning of this challenge, so not yet have concrete answer. Okay, let me wait for a moment. Oh, by the way, so after this presentation, we are planning to share all this poll result. And also, please feel free to submit your questions on Slido. And because we do not have physical booth and we cannot interact with each other, we are planning to do to answer all your questions after this, presentation on this Slido. So Slido link will be available after the show, and we are going to answer all your questions. Right, so maybe focus on critical use cases and introduce tools to improve productivity of existing teams. So these are the two approaches that many of you are trying. Great, thank you very much for contributing the poll. So let me first stop the poll here. And then let me go to the our main presentation. So to begin my presentation, let me briefly introduce who we are. And we are spin out from NEC Corporation, which is one of the largest global IT firm. And after years of our research in NEC, we had technology breakthrough to fully automate the data science machine learning process. And we became an independent company. We are currently headquartered at California, San Mateo, and provide Ultimo 2.0 platform, which automates and simplifies the end-to-end machine learning process. We have a couple of important credibility, like AWS Machine Learning Competency, which is the highest technology partnership with AWS, or Forrester Research recognized us as a leader of Ultimo market. So today, I'm very excited in sharing our thoughts on approach to keep AI machine learning momentum in this challenging environment. So in the last couple of months, as most of you has answered, like there is a lot of slowdown in the machine learning AI project. There's a obviously challenge in continuing machine learning AI project, but we also have to remember that before COVID, 75% of executives believe the risk going out of business in 5 years if they don't scale AI. So 3/4 of executives believe AI and machine learning is not just investment for growth, but it is do or die. So then the question here is how the organization can keep the momentum of AI machine learning in this economic downturn. How can organization do more projects with less resources? One approach is, as many of you have answered, maybe focus on the only critical use cases. But today, we want to propose a different approach to scale your machine learning AI project. So first, let us see this chart. The horizontal axis is the number of people, and the vertical axis is technical barrier. AI machine learning has higher value for sure, but requiring high technical skills. And eventually, currently, not so many people today can execute AI machine learning project. On the other hand, there are more people who can do BI, but BI is descriptive, and BI alone cannot produce as impactful value as AI. So now, what is the solution? So our thought is to enable BI professionals to utilize AI and machine learning and enable more people to do AI machine learning project. In the meantime, we should enable AI engineers, very high skilled talents to focus on critical use cases. So the message today is this BI plus AI and how can we make it happen? So it's very easy to say, let's enable BI professional to utilize AI and machine learning, but it is a long road. Let me briefly overview AI and the machine learning process and existing approaches to understand what are the challenges. So this is our view of AI and machine learning process. So Jan, just before my presentation, made a great presentation about TensorFlow or image, processing and AI for computer vision. On the other hand, our machine learning AIs here we are talking about more business data. And machine learning is just a part of the process. It's a very, very important process. But as you can see, there's much more than machine learning to really execute the entire process. You collect the data, you have to first handle the data, AI-focused data preparation, and then you have to build a lot of important patterns from data, which is called feature engineering. And then after that, machine learning comes in, and visualization and production. I don't go through reviewing every single step in this presentation, but important message here is that machine learning is very, very fancy technology, but real data science, machine learning AI project is much more than machine learning itself. And there's a lot of additional steps you have to do. So now how to execute this complex process? And this is even like a much more complex than machine learning alone. So today's topic, so how can we make this process available for BI professionals? To discuss that in the next couple of slides, let me explain a few existing approaches, how existing tools are approaching this problem. The first approach is obviously based on coding. So we need a different type of tools to run different steps, like a SQL, Apache Spark for data and feature engineering, or Python, R, TensorFlow, PyTorch for machine learning. In addition to these tools, people need to be familiar with many technical concepts like data engineering, domain knowledge, statistics, or machine learning. Obviously, this is not a very easy road to run, and this is why technical barrier of AI machine learning is still very, very high. Another very popular approach is to use visual programming platform to draw data and the process flow on the canvas. This eliminates coding effort to draw the diagram by drag and drop. However, obviously, coding is not really hardest part. The real challenge is you have to really understand how to draw this very, very complex diagram. By the way, it's not just a drawing diagram, but each single box in this diagram often requires many additional complex configurations. So this type of visual programming platform has been very popular for the last decade, but it is still too complex for BI professionals in our opinion. So to really accelerate the machine learning AI project, in a couple of years, as Jan, previous speaker, also a little bit talk about AutoML, automation has been considered and recognized as a new approach, which is called AutoML. And just by providing this feature table to the system automatically explores hundreds of machine learning algorithms and tune different models and visualize outcomes. One of the great advantages of AutoML is that all complexities on machine learning part of the process are hidden behind the platform, so we don't need to concern about technical complexity of machine learning part. On the other hand, obviously, as this chart present, only AutoML, this part is not good enough in the sense that the most time-consuming and the manual data and the feature engineering process is still relying on the manual efforts. So in summary, in our opinion, AutoML alone is not good enough, and we need additional level of automation to realize BI+AI. So I'd like to introduce a new approach, AutoML 2.0, and explain a little bit about our .data platform. The concept of .data platform is very simple. Utilizing intelligent algorithm, the system automate even the process before machine learning and really automate the end-to-end AI and machine learning steps. So this is the conceptual diagram, and there's three important points that I want to highlight to really enable BI professionals to use machine learning AI. First of all, it has to be very simple. It should not be drawing the very complex diagram with additional configuration toggles. It has to be as simple as we can operate this platform in 5 minutes. Second part is there's so many steps in the machine to execute this machine learning AI process. So it has to be streamlined in a single platform. And the last part is our secret sauce, basically AI-powered feature engineering that enable us to really automate this entire process. So let me a little bit explain the first point. So this is a very straightforward. Step one, you have to load the data into the system. You can simply drag and drop your data set, and this is not really the magic. And this is not fancy, but very important, your first step. And then step two, you are going to tell machine two things: what you want to predict and which table do you want to use. And then only this basic information, you don't need to draw a lot of diagram workflow, but system automatically build this workflow to process data and building the feature hypothesis, analyzing the feature by feature relevance, or tuning a lot of machine learning algorithm for the best parameter for giving your use case. And then after some computation, your features and the model are ready to go. And you can, API endpoints are automatically generated, and you can bring it to your production system. Now, what is happening behind this platform? It's extremely simple as we can perform the operation in 5 minutes, but actually behind the platform, a lot of things are happening in every single step of AI and the machine learning process. Data collection, AI-focused data prep. I do not have time to read through every single bullet point, but you can feel like if you are going to do this process manually, there are so many technical components you have to address. On the other hand, automation platform allows you to skip all these technical things and then simply focus on not how to solve this problem, but what to solve and how to extract the business values from your use case. The last key point is AI-powered feature engineering, which is our secret sauce. With this, we realize the end-to-end automation from data collection through featured engineering to machine learning automation. As I explained, AI-focused data prep and feature engineering are the most time-consuming and most manual step in the entire machine learning process. Conceptually, as this chart describes, this is a step to transform the left-hand side very complex enterprise data with many tables with deeper relationship into the right-hand side, a single flat table ready for machine learning. This process is not only technically complex, but also it requires a lot of knowledge, domain knowledge and experience. So that's why this process has been so manual and so consuming. But this is our secret sauce that we build very intelligent algorithm to really automate this black art of data science process. So here, let me use one slide to explain how AutoML 2.0 and data can fit in your BI workflow. The pink path is BI+AI with data. It can directly connect with your source, or it can consume the data processed by your self-service data prep platform, like a Tableau prep. You generate a featured machine learning model and produce a prediction result using data platform and push the result to the BI platform to make your BI dashboard predictive and prescriptive. It is very simple and extremely powerful integration. So now let me tell our client success story and how we help BI team. US Electrical Service is 100-year-old, US largest independent wholesale electric distributor located in Connecticut.
Just a heads up that we've got 2 more minutes.
Okay, yeah. And this gentleman, Philip, he is the head of IT and BI. So his goal and commitment are to bring predictive capability on their BI dashboard in the area of customer analytics. One of the biggest his challenge was he has 5 to 10 BI engineers, but none of them have AI and machine learning experience. The data team started to engage with USC team in late 2019. And in first 30 days, the team understood AI machine learning concept and completed tutorial use case. In the next 30 days, they successfully completed to build a promising model. And then only within 90 days after they started the machine learning AI, they have deployed the production model and started to measure business outcomes. So this is a very typical success story of our client and the BI team with the BI team without AI machine learning experience use our platform and work with our data science team and very quickly adapt AI and machine learning. So the last slide is to get started. So basically, I explained the automation is the next approach to scale your AI machine learning practice, but tool is tool. And basically, tool is great, but not good enough to really start. So based on our past experience, there are a few additional elements you have to consider. One is education. So AutoML 2.0 is not a magic wand, but BI professionals need to understand basics such as what type of program AI machine learning can solve, how to consume AI machine learning outcomes on their dashboard. Another one is use case. It is extremely important to have the successful use cases. In particular, initial few use cases are critical for BI team to accelerate the momentum of AI machine learning. And particularly in BI team, it's also very important to have the proper infrastructure and the platform that allow team to collaborate with each other. So data team, we are providing not only the tool, but we are here to help you in all these aspects. Data platform, our data science team is going to help you to co-develop your use cases. So this is the end of our presentation. And let me go to the last slide. So let me stop here for my presentation. And we have the Slido. So thank you very much for submitting the questions. And we still have we can open this Slido. So please submit your questions, and we can do Q&A on Slido. And also the one last ask to you guys are this is a digital event, and we have no opportunity to interact with each other on the physical booth. So if you are interested in to have the more deeper conversation, please contact us and please submit your interest on the Slido. Then we are going to follow you up.
Great. Thank you so much, Ryohei. That was great.